contain virus? So the goal here is we are given a 2D matrix. It is n cross m matrix because rows and columns are like not same. So n rows, n columns. It says we have 0 and 1s in the matrix. 0 represents uninfected cells and 1 represents the contaminated cells which are already like affected by the virus. And a wall can be installed between any two four directionally adjacent cells. Okay, so let's say if we are here at 1, we can install a wall between this upper one and the one which is on the top, left, right, and bottom. If we need to, every night the virus spreads to the neighboring cell in all four directions unless blocked by the wall. Okay, so resources are limited. Each day you can install wall around only one region. Okay, so what it says in the first example, if we see, we have these two. Sorry, if I cannot hide this way, we have these two ones here. So this is one of the contaminated like region. We have these three ones on the right. This is another region which is affected by the virus. Each day, either we can install the walls around region onto the left, or we can install the walls around region to the right. Okay, and then by that day, if let's say we are installing the wall around region to the left, then all the other regions, they will spread the virus in four directions. Okay, for each affected cell. So the goal is to figure out how many minimum number of walls required to contain the virus, and if let's say we cannot contain the virus, okay, it can become fully infected or whatnot, then how many walls we used to try to contain the virus. Okay, I have it on my OneNote just to help visualize it. So this is the first question, and if we see, I will use like maybe a pen. Okay, this is the first region which is affected. This is the second region which is affected, right? Now, at any given day, we can only put walls around any one region. Okay, so either we can put walls this way, or we can put wall this way. Okay, at any like one given day. So what if we put the wall here? Okay, in that case, on that day, all of these zeros which are neighboring, they will become 1. Okay, so they will be affected, and then we have to like repeat the process. Okay, now what if we put the wall on this side? Then at the very same day, all the neighboring cells to the left region will get affected. So all of these will, whatever is highlighted like this cell, this cell, this cell, this and this, they will all become infected. Okay, so we have to try to see how the minimum number of walls we can use to contain the infection. Okay, so what should we do? Like which region we should pick first?
Is on the left side. The two ones.
Why?
The 5 cells get affected here. 4 cells get affected.
Yep. So cause like this will affect the these five cells. And if we pick the region on the right, it is only going to affect the 4 cells, these cells. Okay, so we will build a wall here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we put 5 walls here. Now, by that time, we already talked about like all of these will become 1. Because in a day, we can put all walls around only one region. Okay, and then next day, we can put like wall around now this infected region, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, right? Which is going to be 5 walls, and that gives us the first output, which is 10. Okay, take a look at the second one. Okay, how many regions are there?
Question. I have a question.
Yes.
So we are counting each cell as a count, or like the boundary we are counting, like
The perimeter, like how many walls you have put here. Okay, so between these two cells there is this one wall, second wall, third wall, fourth wall, and then this fifth wall.
Okay.
Okay, take this example. How many regions are there? Okay, there is only one region which covers like this, all of these ones at once. Okay, right? And on the very first day, if we put a wall in this direction, we can save this middle 0. So output is 4. Okay, because we are putting 4 walls here. In the third example, how many regions we have? We have this one region, and then this is the second region that we have. Okay, so which region we should contain first?
The first one, this one.
Oh, see on the left we have 1,
4 walls.
2, 3, and 4. 4 are affected here. Okay, and if we take a look at the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 are affected here. So where we should put the wall first?
There is the 11 effective.
11 up, yeah. So a wall should go like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we put 11 walls on the day 1. And at the same time, the second region will affect other cells. So this 0 will become 1, this will become 1, this will become 1, this will become 1. Okay, now how many walls like we need to put on the second day?
0.
Why? Because here is no wall. Okay, so we have to cover this area, we have to cover this area, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So plus 2, we have total of 13 walls. That's the output, 13. Now, what's the approach? How can we solve this? Whatever. Any approach?
First, find the region with lower ones. No.
No, you're right. So as a first step, you just said like find the region, okay, with lower ones. Okay, so let me like divide this into 2 different tasks. First task is you have to find the regions, right?
Yeah.
And then second, you said find the region with lower number of
Affected ones.
affected ones. Find the region with lower or higher.
Higher, sorry.
Like,
Higher.
yeah, which will cause like more contamination. Okay, find the reason
The higher affected one.
which will cause more infection, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now to find all of these two, okay, what we need um, for the first one, okay, you have to figure out how many are infected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because okay, let me like not go into it first. How can you find a reason? What's the approach to find a reason?
Traverse the matrix.
Hmm?
Traverse the matrix.
That you can traverse the matrix. Okay, let's say like you find this one.
DFS.
Okay, and then you do.
Whatever I see, like if it is one, they are connected to each other.
Yeah,
Then that is one reason.
so you do BFS or
Yeah,
DFS.
BFS. Yeah, BFS.
Okay,
DFS.
so whatever like is suitable, like either you can do BFS or you can do DFS to find out a reason. Okay, and then um, in the first pass, once you do the BFS or DFS, like you will find like this one reason here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then again figure out like if you have like any other cell which is one, and then do the BFS there. So in the second pass, like you will figure out like okay, there is like this one more reason, and definitely like you need to keep a track of visited or whatnot, so we are not repeating the visiting the same cells again and again. Okay, so you have to figure out the reasons which is right, and each reason will give you what information, like while you are figuring out the reason, what information you need.
Yeah, I'm reporting to the Zikai. Zikai reports to करना. Yeah,
Hello.
for me, it's a backend KPI which I already deployed. So there are two KPIs in the PPE. So we are
Hey, can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have to find the number of infected regions. Okay, and how many cells this region can infect, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if we have this information and using how many cells a region can infect, okay, we know what's the region that we have to take care of first in the first pass. Okay, then what will we do? We found the reason that we need to take care of. I'm just looking at the first example. We perform these two operations. We figured out, okay, yeah, there are two reasons. One is right here, one is right here. This will affect 4 cells, this will affect 5 cells. Now what should we do?
We need to start creating walls around the region that affects 5 cells.
Yes, and how can you like create a wall? Just like yep, if I'm drawing it, okay, this is the wall that I created. But when we are coding it, like what's the data structure, or like how will you create the wall, how will you represent a wall?
I think we can go for that formula, which is like a perimeter or something, like
Yes.
how many cells are there, and uh, to calculate the perimeter of that area.
Okay, so we have result. And what I'm doing, sorry about that. Let's say we have result equal to 0. Okay, we are starting with 0. Okay, and we found out, okay, this is the reason which is going to affect most cells in day one. So what if, let's say, I convert this to 2, these two ones. What if I change it to 2? Because we know like 0 is uninfected, 1 infected, okay, and we figured out the reason on the left, which is causing more infection. Number of cells it is going to damage is 5. So result plus 5. And I converted these to 2. And in the same day, I converted these to 1. Right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense? Okay. Then,
Yeah.
then what will happen? What we do, like, again, we repeat the same algo. Okay, whatever we just did, we keep repeating until we find more reasons. So in the second pass, once we again repeat the same process, find the reasons, how many cells are infected. Okay, so we will find this reason in the second pass. Same algo. So how many cells are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 cells. Okay, so in the first pass, let me like take it back. When we okay, so in the first pass, okay, when we were trying to figure out the reason, okay, with each reason we have to make a list of what are the neighbors of that reason. Because when we are finding the reason, it's easy to figure out, okay, what are the neighbors which are uninfected, and what are the nodes in that region which are already infected. Okay, so we have all that information, figure out the region with the lowest number of, like, the higher infection that it can cause, and convert it to 2, and then rest of that convert it to 1. Okay, and then repeat the process. You find all of these nodes, and the number of infection that it can cause is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it can affect 4. There's only one reason left. And how many walls we have to create, it depends upon the number of neighbors that it can infect. So this can infect only 1, 1, 2, 3. This guy can infect this 4, and also like this one. So we don't need to like count the duplicate walls, and then this one. Okay, so we created 5 walls here. 5. This comes to 10. Okay, and then we are good. The area, like the remaining cells, are not going to be infected, and we know these are the number of balls. So essentially we will do the DFS first or BFS to figure out the affected regions, count infected in that region, how many it is going to infect in that region, and create the wall by converting them to 2 for the all other regions, expand because like the virus is infecting the neighbors, and then repeat the same algo again. I can show the code like if anyone is interested, but before that, is there any question? Okay. So
I think we can proceed to the code. Yeah.
Okay. I will take the silence as like no questions. Okay. So I created this class. Okay. I'm not sure like the name is a good one, but like that's what I created that time. Okay. So essentially this is a data structure which will hold the infected cells, which will hold the number of cells it can infect. Okay, not infected. Okay, but this reason can infect. Okay, and the only reason I am putting those as integer because there can be duplicates. Let's say for this cell right over here, okay, the cell on the top, this one can also affect this region, this cell, and this can also affect this cell. And yesterday, like or on Friday, like I recall, we talked about that given a matrix of n cross m, it's easy to figure out. And let's say given a number 8, okay, and in this case, and n is 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, okay, so we have 4 cross 8. Given the 8, like any number, it's easy to figure out what row and column we want. So 8 divided by number of columns will give us the row, and then 8 mod number of columns will give us the cell we want. So 1 0, okay, like now why 1 0? So start with there 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we reach here, this is the one that we want. I just took like a random example. So this is our row and this is our column. Okay, so essentially this set, instead of a pair, I can also use a list of pair. Set is only created to dedupe the elements, okay, like nothing more than that. Now there is this while true, okay, because I need to like repeat the same algo multiple times, and it this algo will break if there are no more reasons, okay, that we will find. Now if you see these lines, okay, this and this DFS function, it's like plain DFS that I'm doing to count the number of uh, reasons. Okay, so what is happening for rows, which goes to number of rows, column goes to number of columns. I have a vested array, and if I see if the row or column is 1 and that is not vested, okay, so that means I found a potential reason. Okay, so for that reason I will do the DFS. Okay, so in this first example, I will find this one and then I will do the DFS there. Now there is like little logic into the DFS, is which I have written. So essentially, like it is checking that if we have already listed it, or if we have the set the row and column as 2, okay, which means like we have previously listed that cell and marked that as maybe we created a wall around it. So don't do anything. Otherwise, if the row and column is 1, then that 1 is going to infect a cell. In this example, this one and this one is going to infect this 0. Okay, so we have to create 2 walls. These both are going to infect the single 0, but we have to create 2 walls. So that's where I'm adding which guy it is going to infect. Okay, and if it is already listed, like we return. Okay, and if it is 0, it is going to be infected. Okay, so whenever we reach this 0, I increase the parameter and then add non-affected to that list. Okay, so this DFS by the end in the first pass will give me location of this cell. So 2 cells are already infected. It will give me 1 2 3 4 5 these cells which are not infected, and it will give me the parameter as 5. So that's what this DFS will do. And once I create all the reasons using the DFS, simple n log n, like depending upon the n is the number of reasons here, I figured out what's the reason with maximum. I'm sorting it like based on the maximum number of infection. So find the reason with the maximum infection and then convert all the infected nodes in that region to 2. Okay, and this is the row and column thing, and also add the result parameter to the result, like whatever we calculated. And for the remaining reasons, iterate for them and then expand all the neighbors by 1, infect them. Okay. So once we have this information, we in the first example, we do it like first we get 2 regions, perform all the operations, and then it will again enter the while loop second time, perform the operation, and then it will break. Any questions on that? Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. If there are like no more questions, then maybe we can end the session.
Gaurav, one question.
Yes.
So you calculated like from the, if it is m into n matrix, then I have to go with the maximum number, whatever the rows or column, right? And then like your code line number 59. So here you are dividing by columns and percentage of calls. So you take a call because columns are more.
No, like it's not the reason. Because if you convert any 2D matrix, okay, like this 2D matrix into single, like 1D matrix, okay, this row will go first,
Yes.
and then after that, like the second row, and after that the third row. Okay. Now, how many elements? Let's say if we converted this to a single 1D matrix, 1D array. Okay. How many elements belong to the first row?
8.
8. Okay. And then how many elements belong to the second row? Again,
8.
next 8. Okay. So that's how like I'm doing that divided by
Columns.
column. Okay. So it will give me the row number. Okay. Now between these 8, okay, what column I am in? Okay, which if you do the mod from 0 to 7, and then mod 8, it will give you either you are on the 0 column, you are on the first column, or whatnot.
Yeah, remember. Yeah, got it.
So this is one of the trick like which is used in most of the questions. Okay, if you have to represent 2D matrix as 1D matrix.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Okay then. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Yeah, thank you.
Gaurav.
And Puneet already like pinged on the channel
Thank
that yeah, thank you. I believe like Puneet already pinged like so he's going to take the session tomorrow. So we have like someone, and for the next sessions I suggest like go to this.
I think there's already someone who has already signed up. At
Okay.
least for next 2 weeks, I can see there's Smita, Sonia have already signed up for the coming days.
Okay, which is good, but like just keep an eye on this. If like you guys find that okay someone has not signed up, like just ask in the channel so someone can fill in the position. Yeah. Thank you.
And Gaurav, can you post this code?
Yes, I will do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.